So, hey folks, welcome to
Yeah,
the podcast. I Today I'm bringing you one of the awesome people that I met through Twitter. That is Arihant Aryan, and he's one of an like I everyone those who know me. I'm bit in entrepreneurship, specifically in startup, but Arihant is a person whom I met him and has got so much insights about specifically in startups, investment kind of specifically thing. And we will talk about more on Arihant and in startup. But like Arihant, can you give a small intro of your?
yeah. Hey. Thank you so much for having me, boss. Here, I'm like super excited. So yeah, as you know, right? I've been leading a big business for 14 months now. I'm a graduate for Bachelor of Business Administration from Hyderabad, and we are trying to do something very interesting on how businesses are done in our country, and that's what we have been working for. And yeah, hopefully we'll launch soon. So that's the only thing I can say, right? Only two lines. One is about the company, about my degree. So right, I have only them.
Sure, sure. So just let us know about like our audience, what is actually big business is doing, and actually what is the concept out of it, and how the idea came into your mind, and you start working on it.
Yeah. So this idea was this idea came because we had a specific incident, but we started building the company because we have insights. So this idea was the reason behind the whole picture was last time my brother went through an online fraud. He lost
Yep.
around 30,000 rupees to a reputed website, right? And the impact it had was so much. And then we figured it out by doing a lot of research and talking to a lot of businesses that we are a low trust country and businesses don't have any identity to exhibit their trustworthiness, which was an
Mhm.
actual pain point, right? And the life of consumer is also very tough to make a
Yep.
business decision. So then we said, okay, we have to build something like a credit score for businesses. And now at the company, right, we are introducing and enabling small businesses like 50 million small businesses with credit score. It's a new age credit score which will give them opportunities. They can exhibit their credit score to their customers. They can get loans. They can get their business deals through this score, right? So that's
Yep.
something exciting we have been doing in the company.
Cool, Arihant. I and you, maybe I can call you like a fan of Kunal Shah. Kunal Shah has a like a concept of more on like maybe Cred has a concept of financial, maybe financial startup, I can say on that end. So when we saying like I didn't know the like particular how the Cred works in terms of business model, I'm saying, but like what makes you different, because Cred has a concept that what I seen many of the podcasts of like Kunal Shah, that he has a like there is no faith in specifically in India when we're talking about when we saying we have
Yeah.
a trustworthiness, our concept of trustworthiness is not a good as an Indian. So what are your thoughts on that, like because you are working on that basically the fraud kind of thing, and also specifically on the transaction kind of thing. So what are your thoughts on that
Yeah.
also?
See, first of all, to clarify that, I'm not a fan of Kunal Shah. Many people think I am. I'm not. Uh, I follow Kunal Shah, and he's one of the person who makes me think a lot.
Hmm.
So yeah, I know I'm not a fanboy for anyone. That's first, number one. I admire people and I tend to learn from them, right? Yeah. So another point, how we are different from Cred, boss. Cred is a consumer tech company, right? We are a
Yep.
business B2B business company, and Cred foundation of Cred is the CIBIL score, right? Now businesses don't even have a credit score in this country, right? There's no
Yeah.
scoring system for businesses. So it's an entire different ball game. But one problem which is common, like which is one of the common problem statement is the problem of trust.
Yep.
So what happens is any low prosperous country turns out to be a low trust country, right?
Yep.
And simultaneously, if we see in these low trust countries, there are many fraud incidents,
Yep.
many robberies, and so on and so forth, and many criminal activities as well. And
Hmm.
judicial system is also super weak. So this is a common pattern you can see among second and third world countries.
Got it. So like I'm just saying about like if you want to proceed like specifically if we're telling about what is the actual business model, can you want to share about what is the actual business model of big business specifically, and how you're working out of it, and what is your future plan specifically about your
Yeah,
startup specifically?
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so the business plan is like completely simple, right?
Yep.
It's very easy to understand. So whatever B score we are giving right now, and whatever their business comes and uses the app, right, to manage their needs, it's completely free, boss. We
Yep.
aren't charging anything, but our main business starts after businesses get that B score, right? They get the
Yep.
750 plus B score. We give them financial benefits, right? And also what we do is we make sure that their B score is their identity, so we give them
Hmm.
opportunities like exhibiting their B score on merchant apps or payment apps and so on
Yep.
and so forth. So we make money out there, and we also do it an API service, right?
Yep.
We make money out there as well. So I'm stating that we have a distribution first approach, right? Monetization you can do anyhow if you have India's top 20 business, like India's top 20%, 25 businesses on your table, because
Yep.
those are the ones who contribute like 47% of the export in a country, right?
Yep.
And saying that they also contribute 30% of the GDP for our country. So
Yep.
if we have them on our cap, right, then
Yep.
then everything is made super easy for us.
Yep. Specifically talking about finance, Aryan, what are thoughts on crypto space? And like, are you want to go into crypto space, or like, is there any you have idea like if you are going in a like another like you're creating your another startup in crypto space, and what do you think actually? What is the future of crypto, specifically in talking about India, because government have a new regulation out of it. So, what are your thoughts on that? Yeah.
Yeah, see, now people, like, since last 5 6 months, people have been getting into blockchain and crypto, but my hands were on crypto were in like last year itself, right? I started investing in crypto back in July or August 2020.
Yep.
And trust me, in the kind of wallets I used, those wallets you people might even not know of, because there was no Vazirex by that time, I think, in public, right? Many people didn't know
Yep.
about Vazirex or CoinDCX and so on and so forth, right? So I invested through a platform. I made money. So I believe something crypto. Yes, if people don't understand crypto, it's going to be the scam. If people understand crypto, that's going to be revolutionary. Saying that, it will take around. This is what I'm assuming, right? It will take around 10 years for cryptos to boom, right?
Yep.
It to become a basic utility, basic investing utility. The reason I'm stating this is because so basically, if crypto has to come into the country and blockchain has
Hmm.
to come, and all the 350 million households have to use it, right? Uh, it's going to be impossible right now, because the internet penetration rate is very less, right? The 45% is our internet penetration rate. So
Hmm.
unless the internet penetration rate goes to 80% or 85%, you can expect many people to use crypto.
Yep.
Otherwise, what will happen is it will be the same scenario where top 2%, 3% of the country is using crypto, and 97% are still using cash, or
Yep.
then they don't even a blockchain system.
Yeah.
And another interesting insight I got is, whatever we communicate in life in general, it has to be lighter than air. As in, it has to be one line which
Yep.
can be communicated with everyone, right? For example, I
Yeah.
say, you ask me, Arihant, what is cred? I'm like,
Yeah.
cred is a credit card reward payment app.
Yep.
That's the basic thing, right? Now, if I
Yeah.
ask you what is blockchain,
Yeah.
you'll tell me like 6, 7, 10 lines. And imagine, can you explain this 10 lines to 100 people at once?
Yep.
Or how difficult it will be if information is passing from one person to another. If
Yep.
blockchain can be communicated by and educated in one line, right?
Yeah.
Just the basic thing, what is blockchain in one line, then it can communicate much faster.
Got it.
And trust me,
And
what people are investing in blockchain even don't know what is blockchain. They can't explain it. Right?
yep.
So it's everything is in the educational part as well.
So like there is if I talking about specifically education people, maybe for not a common people, but maybe for the developers right now, many hackathon is doing like in specifically in India. So like what do you think, can we can we there is a crypto space? Because I just done a like recently I've just done a podcast with some of an NRI who is living in maybe America, and he just telling me like most of the crypto space startup is coming from India. And so, like, what are thoughts over it? Like, can India boom in crypto space kind of thing? Like, what's your thought on that specifically?
See, startups coming out of crypto space, I tell something about Indian startups, right? Indian startups don't understand what they do.
Hmm.
They don't understand fundamental things, Karthikeya. Indians are great at
Hmm.
coding, right? But they're not
Yeah.
great at understanding tech. Understanding tech and coding are very different, by
Yeah.
the way,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Coding is a result of what you want to do, but tech is understanding, having that insights, how you can use tech and make things efficient and leverage it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same problem with blockchain. There'll be 100 people who will be
Yeah.
coding in blockchain, who will be writing things in blockchain, just pushing out in the marketplace. But how
Yeah.
many turns out, how many of these companies or startups will turn out to be successful? Less than 1%,
Hmm. Okay.
right?
Cool.
So
Yeah.
that's a problem which I see. That's a problem which I generally see. And startups can come, right? Ideas are million and zillion. It's
Hmm.
all about what kind of insights and what kind of execution you carry around you, and
Yeah.
that's where the results come in, right? So
Cool.
things
Cool.
that come in, and again, stating is India is going to be the next boom
Yeah.
if only if the internet penetration rate grows. So now it's
Yep.
declining, but only if the internet penetration grows, then you might see a boom.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about specifically your startup. Like you have a very business, you have said you are a very simple business model, but what do you think, how you can extend your, specifically if you're like, if your start business go boom in a right way, or or you can say the particular market cap you are just want to try over it. So what do you think, if you made that particular market cap, after what your thoughts of like how you more on thinking of it, or how you extending that part? So any thoughts regarding that? Yep.
Yes. We do have our plans, right? We do have few plans for the company of what we want to do and where do we want to reach. One of the things which I'm looking forward to, right, is enabling all businesses in our country to do import and export on the concept of B-Score, on the foundational concept of B-Score, right?
Yep.
Make domestic trade and international trade super easy. So that's
Yeah.
where my eyes are. My eyes are on the bigger picture. Even if everything works out, or it will work out, but it will take a lot of time. But
Yeah.
this is something I would want to do in the long term, enabling businesses to do import and export on the concept of B-Score.
Cool. Loved it, loved it. So yeah, what like specifically many people are student right now. Mostly people are listening my podcast is mostly students. So many want to become entrepreneur, want to start entrepreneurship, but they lacking in some or another. Like what your maybe when you started off in your startup, or like is there any hurdle that obviously the hurdle will be there when you're starting off, you're kicking off your startup. So what you can say, what are the pain pointer or pain killers you want to share with others? Like these are things it will come, so you can do this kind of step to maybe tackle that particular thing.
See, Karthik, I'll tell you something, right? Don't start on inspiration or motivation
Yeah.
because your journey is numbered back then, right? Start on conviction.
Hmm.
Start on conviction that, bro, like, doesn't matter what happens. It's okay if I fail. I can take risk. I understand what the risk is, right? I understand how it's going to look like if everything works out. I also understand how it's going to look like if everything fails out.
Hmm.
And ultimate thing is conviction, boss. You have to start based on your conviction. Don't start
Yep.
because of your fundraising is on a bull market and every other guy is getting funded, right? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Start because you have conviction. And the best thing about conviction is, if you have conviction, you don't have to motivate your team every day coming say that come to work. You don't have to convince your
Hmm.
parents that your company will work. You don't have to convince your friends that your company will work, right? The conviction will speak to them. And that's the same with inspiration, right? If you are driven by inspiration, if you are driven by motivation, you have to make sure every day you're motivating and inspiring your team.
Yep. Hmm.
Saying that, it's not a it's not a kids team, right? Like many
Yep.
people who startups are like teens or adults, and I think inspiration and motivation is not the right fuel. It's the conviction, and
Hmm.
they should start up based on the conviction. And if you don't have an idea, chill, go work for a startup. That
Cool.
adds a lot of value, trust me.
uh okay, there's one more question. Like we will talk more, like more talk on Twitter also in that. What do you think, what is the future of colleges specifically after the COVID? It's will be still gone, or like there's a concept of here we call degrees. We know like we talk over it, and we both are hated that specifically. But like, let's what your thought of like in the future India specifically, can college will be there, or like it's a like open education, like yeah, YouTube is very open to everyone. So maybe content is maybe good content, or good content creator will come, or content creator will be there. So what are thoughts? Will college will be there in future, or like it's just ended right now in maybe in 20-30 years? What are thoughts on that?
Fundamentally, Karthik, if you see, right, college and degree is a flawed concept. They prepare you for exams, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. They don't prepare you for life, or they don't prepare you for learnings. They just prepare you for exams.
Yeah.
Now, if you see with the kind of technology we are growing with, most of the learning is not happening in the classroom.
Yeah.
It's happening on media,
Yeah.
right? All the information passed on media is very fast than the news channels. The kind
Yeah.
of facts or the content written, it's super high, and it's super rich content as well, right? We're consuming like
Yeah.
90% of the content is super rich, of course. And if you look 30 years down the line, I don't think any education system will stay back. Uh, there will be no colleges, is what I'm looking. There will be no demand for colleges, perhaps. There will be
Yep.
more of cohort based learning of
Yep.
skills, because those are the things which pay the bills.
Yep.
It's not any degree, or it's not any certificate at the end of the day. Because we
Yep.
all know like how we got those degrees, what all we did to get those degrees, right?
Yep.
But amazingly, skills you can't do the same with skills, because you have to perform that in live and show the
Yep.
proof of work.
Yeah.
So you can't fake your skill, right?
Yep.
So I think cohort based learning for skills is going to be the next big thing. Saying that, uh, degrees, MBAs, IIT, IIM,
Yep.
college days are numbered for them.
Yep. Got it. My next question specifically to you: what do you think? What is the future of edtech specifically? Because many people right now giving free content, and they are saying you are just ruining our concept of culture. That what Gurukul system is there. I hope so. I just recently tweet. Maybe I recently tweet about
Yeah.
Gurukul specifically. Maybe modern Gurukul can we bring out in India back? So like, what are thoughts? Like, is it like, because we talk more about like specifically when we're talking about Indian culture, Britishers are just social engineered our mind specifically, that we are not enough with other specifically the mindset that we are not like a warrior mentality, you can say.
Yeah.
We just lose it like specifically due to that. What do you think? Can we bring out Gurukul system back and add to it? And the final question of this podcast also, how you say to other entrepreneurs or anyone who is watching right now, be a warrior mentality, and how to bring that specifically mentality. It's not particular to entrepreneurship, but in any genre specifically. So yeah, what's your thought on that?
Yeah, first I'll answer the first question, right? What do you
Yep.
think about future of edtech? There are 400 million youth and teens in our country. That's how the huge the market is.
Yep.
40% of country is teens and youth, right? And what I see is all the edtech companies till now are mere online tuition centers. The
Yep.
same tuition which you used to say and curse that you don't want to go to every evening, which
Yep.
was offline, is now online.
Hmm.
And it's little expensive again, right? And they have to give you some reading material on top of it. I believe the future of tech, this is how I see it coming through, right? I see it being a very foundational towards a skill, towards a specific knowledge. That's how you grow. You focus on a specific knowledge and you grow, right?
Yep.
And I see a specific knowledge, cohort based learning is coming up, taking the market by storm.
Yep.
And it's also going to be faced on lot of practical learning.
Yep.
That's what I can see, right? So the normal things like physics, chemistry, math can be there, but the way they thought will be different. The way you experience them will be different. And
Yep.
that's what people are now calling it as EdTech 2.0, right?
Yep.
So we'll have to see how it eventually works out. Saying that, you can bring all the best education systems in the country, you can build the best education initiatives,
Yep.
but the ability to pay is limited.
Yep.
And you might say, at the end, you know what, they can take credit. Yeah, of course, they can take credit, but again, the ability to pay credit is also zero sum,
Also, can you think,
right? So,
yep. So like, also, can you think, can we
go ahead.
make like education specifically free education? Like, because when I specifically targeting Gurukul system or back in system, that what I understood from different podcasts is like that there is no there is free education. There is no penny taken from anyone, but it just taken by, you can say, from the ruler of that particular kingdom, you can say. So what are your thoughts over it? Free education will be there, but people are not respecting that. Even the content is really high. Even though Stanford great lectures are there, but no one is saying that. Even though it's free content, very quality content. So what are your thoughts over it? Will it be okay to give free education, specifically when we're talking about our country, India?
So I'll see, right? Fundamentally, people don't in our country don't understand human behavior. No matter
Yeah.
how many things you give it for free, people will not come. In terms of education, people will come when you give them
Yeah.
high placements, high jobs, high job openings. I'll
Yeah.
tell you an example. Now, let's say you have 1,000 people, and 1,000 people are willing to get educated. You say one place, say your boss, what, I'm giving you only free education. On
Yeah.
other side, this guy comes up and says, hey, you know what, I'll charge 1,000 rupees, but I'll make sure you get a nice placement. I'll make sure you make 3 lakhs per annum.
Yeah.
All the 1,000 people, like 99.99% of this 1,000 people will jump into the company where they want placements, because
Yeah.
ultimately, if you see, right, people in our country don't have employment, they need money, right? Many
Yeah.
people in our country don't make money. So if
Yeah.
someone is saying buy 2,000 rupees, so if you join and I'll give you a placement, people will
Yeah.
run towards it,
Yeah.
right? So that's where the whole point lies. So that's what I say. So even if you're providing free education, super, but
Yeah.
on top of it, if you can provide any opportunities where you can monetize, let's say you say, hey, you know what, I'll make sure you get a job in a startup and you get paid on 30 to 40,000, and in your first salary I'll charge like 7% commission.
Yeah.
People would love to do that, right? You're giving them a job for no money, like they haven't paid anything upfront, so people will be like, yeah, chalo kar denge.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how it is, right? So providing free education doesn't work out. You have to you have to sell hope. You have to give opportunities on top of it.
Got it.
And in a country like India, right, in a low trust country and low prosperous country, if you sell luck and hope, right, luck doesn't exist, but people do sell luck and hope, right?
Yeah.
You'll be the next richest guy or the next high valued startup. So
Yeah.
those are two things that you have to do this. That's all.
Okay, cool. And the last
So
question that what
what was the
I
last question? I
yeah,
forgot.
that's why I'm just saying, what your thought, like why we created a maybe a slavery mindset, why we do not have a bravery mindset. Even that's a part of maybe our not a culture, but specifically the Britishers social engineering, you can say. We are socially very mental, like we didn't want to be like, we have a proud of our on that kind of thing specifically. So how to change that specifically? I'm not particularly for a particular entrepreneurship, but in any field or in any genre, how we can create that, you can say, warrior mindset specifically, Arihant.
Yeah. So I'll tell you something very interesting about our country, right?
Yeah.
All the families in our country tend to keep basking in the reflected glory.
Yep.
When I say they tend to brag about the past a lot, right? They say few things which I am still surprised that, sometimes, they say things like, all the don't even want to come back to India, you know that, right? And they say few things like, this first watch was made in India, and one king got 3 Rolls Royce and made sure, he cleaned all the roads in India. So they keep always basking in the reflected glory, and they don't tend to look at the present or the future, right?
Yeah.
I'm stating that this is one of the interesting insight I got, Kartikeya.
Hmm.
So when people start up, right? So there are two things in the world. Okay, you can either be a principal or you can be an agent. Principal is the one who takes an ownership and does things.
Yep.
Agent is someone who does things and like he takes orders. He has no ownership over it. It's more like a task to him. It's more responsibility to him.
Yep.
So what happens is all the people who start up majorly are the people who have this principal mindset. So it's not like day one say they have this ownership mindset. No, not true. They
Yep.
have the ownership mindset from like so much time that
Yep.
they have been convicted to start something on their own.
Got it.
But if you see agents starting up, they're
Yeah.
the first people to shut down the company. So no matter where you are, right, try to build a sense of ownership on what you're doing.
Yep.
And foundership is not only limited to startups. let's say you're building a podcast or you're
Yep.
building a code of line, or you're building a feature, you're still a founder. Like
Hmm.
Sipin, bro, you created it, right? With your hands, you are the creator of it. You are
Yeah.
the founder for that, right? So when you have this ownership mentality, you can build something meaningful and what people want. So have this ownership mentality is what I would say. That's number one. Number
Yep.
two, right? Have an efficient circle. When I say efficient circle, I
Hmm.
don't mean that you have to know Jeff Bezos, you have to know Kunal Shah, you have to know Elon Musk, you have to
Yeah.
know Naval. I don't say that. I say that consume top level content, top notch content, which will make you think every day, right? So
Yep.
one of the best things what you can do as an individual is, every day get on Twitter, just read the tweets. That's more than
Yep.
enough. Start with that, and then go for books. Just
Got
get
it.
on Twitter, read those tweets. That's more than enough. They make you think like crazy, right?
Yep.
And also it's no more a circle of influence. It's more of a circle of content consuming. The higher the content you consume, the higher you grow, and the
Yep.
higher you reproduce the content.
Got it. That's great insights, Aryan, truly. And yep.
That's okay. One, three, two, one.
Yep.
So see, the second point which I would love to stress upon is the kind of circle you have. And the circle is not only the circle of influence, but the circle from which you're consuming content.
Yep.
And you don't have to specifically know these people. If you can just consume the content, and once you start consuming the content, they'll make you think, and your thinking ability improves, and you will reproduce a more efficient content.
Yep.
So the thing I'm saying this is because there are two, right? You consume content, you create content. So
Yep.
once you learn something from someone, it processes it in your body, in your mind, and
Yep.
then you turn out to create something more efficient. So
Yep.
if what you're consuming is super weak, what you produce will be super weak. So make sure you're consuming the right content from the
Yep.
right people. When it's the right people who match your needs, right? Who match your values. Listen
Yeah.
to them, learn from them, and produce efficient content. So those are the 2 points I would love to stress upon.
Yep. And thanks, Aryan. That's a great insights from you. And specifically talking about folks who are listening to us, social media is a, you can say, a friend circle. You are living in a specifically in online age. The content that you consume specifically, that is your mindset specifically. Like if suppose if I am taking content about very cringy content specifically, so my mindset will become on a cringy end. And if I'm taking like specifically, I'm a bigger fan, I'm like a fan of beer biceps, or specifically the content of beer biceps, that what he is bringing. So like I can say like my mindset will become not exactly like beer, like you can say about like Ranveer Alavadia, but maybe around, like maybe because the content that he creating, or like that he talking to that particular person, and what the insight they are sharing. So it will be really focus on what social media content you are consuming here. And again, thanks Arihan for accepting my invitation and to record this podcast specifically. We will do more podcasts. I want to do more podcasts with you on different genres, not related to startups, but different. I know you are full of knowledge guy, and I want to extract that to you all and share with my audience, you can say. So yeah, thanks Arihant again to accept my invitation. And yeah, any final note you want to give to the any audience, like any final tip you can say?
Yeah. So this is something I would love to say. Founders are looking forward to start. Make peace with the fact that you might fail. Don't take failures personally, right? Never in your life do that. I learned that thing in the hard way. So that's something I would love to stress upon. And saying that, I think Kartike will put my Twitter ID or LinkedIn ID somewhere in the bios. Feel free to reach out to me. I would love to reply, know you, and do any help if you want, right? If you want any help in any space, if it's my capacity, I would love to do it for you guys. So thank you so much, Kartike, for having me here. Appreciate it. I'm not a full of knowledge guy yet. I'm just curious and I'm just trying to learn. I'm just trying to understand how the system works. That's all.
Yep, thanks Arihant, and all the links of the Arihant and Big Business in the link in the description box. You can check them out, and yeah, try to follow Arihant on Twitter. I will say I like you will totally loved it, and that the spaces that he conducted, so you will get someone another way, because the content that I creating, that Arihant is creating specifically on Twitter, or it can be anywhere, will be worth watching, I can say. So we are here just for you. Yeah, just want to inculcate you on that end. So again, thanks, Arihant, and see you folks. Bye bye. Maybe in the next podcast, I will be bring on more on that at Tech Startup.
Yes.
Okay, so bye bye. See you folks. Bye bye.